Yeah, in last session we were discussing on how to connect to Azure Data Lake storage. I mean external storage again. How can we connect using mounting? And then we discussed internal and external tables. Later, I guess we discussed on some interview specific topics like what is the difference between CSV to Parquet. So when we use CSV, when we need to use Parquet format, we have discussed. Okay. So today we have seen how to connect to external storage like ADLS. So today we will discuss how can we connect to SQL databases. So because the structured data, the clean data have to be written to tables, right? Azure SQL database. So how can we connect to from Databricks to Azure SQL database? So how to read tables, existing tables from SQL database, and how can we write the data frames to SQL database that we will see. So first we will discuss how to connect to SQL database. Then we will read some existing tables from SQL database, and we will write some data frames to SQL database. Yeah, let me create one notebook here. JDBC. Okay, so we were using mount point, right? So the code from you can find the code in anywhere. So we were using that code for connecting to connect to ADLS. So we have some specific code, so we can connect to this one also. JDBC also, I will provide that code. Don't worry. Okay, so before discussing how we can connect from Databricks to SQL database, so we need to have these service in hand. Okay, so the prerequisites are, so first you need to create, okay, let me zoom in. Yeah, prerequisites for establishing connection between Databricks to SQL database are, first you need to create Azure Databricks service workspace. I think we already have this. Okay, let me enter two more people. Yeah, first we need to have this Azure Databricks workspace. We already have it. We are working on a workspace only. Then you need to create SQL database. Okay, so you know how to. Okay, so you know how to create this Azure SQL database, right? So while we were discussing ADF, right? So we have seen how to create SQL database, and we need to have this server also, SQL server also. Okay, uh, and then JDBC driver. So you can ask me, Gopi, how can we check? So these all you know. So Azure Databricks service and SQL database and SQL server, you know how to create and how to subscribe for those services. You already seen it. But what is this JDBC driver? So no need to worry about this one because Databricks already includes it. Okay. So no need to create this one JDBC driver explicitly. So Databricks already includes. Okay. Then SQL, we will use SQL authentication here. Okay. So because Azure's SQL database is one service, Databricks is other service. So to establish connection between these two, so we are using this in ADF. We were using link service. Here we are using this JDBC driver, but we need to provide this, right? This one authentication? I mean username and password, so that we have to enter. Otherwise, it won't allow the connection. For ADLS, we have seen. So we need Azure account, storage account name and key, account key we need, right? Here also you need username and password. And we need to create this JDBC connection string. So while explaining the code, I will show you. So what is this JDBC connection string? Okay. So try to create all of this. Okay. So don't worry about this JDBC driver. So it is already, so Databricks already includes it. Okay. Let's see. How many are there? Okay, 8 people.
No ye required here, no linked services.
No, no. So link service are for ADF, right? In Databricks, we don't have any concept like link service or data sets, right? So here to connect to ADLS, what we are using, this one, what from Databricks to ADLS, we are using mount point, right? So we have to create that mount point, then it will establish connection. To connect to SQL database in ADF, we were using that link service. Here we can use this mount point, and I mean a JDBC connection. So to connect to ADF, so from ADF to Databricks, how to connect using link service, you will connect from ADF to Databricks. So Databricks to ADLS using mount point, Databricks to SQL database using JDBC connection. Yeah. This one, yeah. Okay, so first let me create one dummy table inside this SQL database so that we can read this data to Databricks. Okay, so you know how to create this database and server, right? SQL database and SQL server, and how to create tables also. We have seen while discussing ADF. Okay, let me create this one table. So I already have the script. Create table. The table name is employees. So employee ID integer, and first name is first name and last name. So can anyone tell me, so what is the difference between varchar and nvarchar?
So NVARCAR will have multiple other
Language.
additional languages like
Yes, yes,
Japanese, those
yes,
things,
yes.
additional.
Other smileys or emojis or other language scripts. It allows if you keep nvarchar. So if you keep
Yeah,
varchar, then it allows only English script.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So we have created this one, So while discussing SQL basics, right? We have seen how to create table. So create table and then the table name and whatever the fields you want to give. So we can enter all those. And Python doesn't require this one, what data type, but SQL, we have to explicitly write the data type of this one while declaring the while creating the table, we need to declare the data type of this. So employee ID is integer, and all other these three, first name, last name, department are text type, and salary is float value. So I already have some this one. Hmm. Okay, so insert into employees values. I have 5 rows. Okay, let me, yeah. So now select, let me query, let me query on this one. I want to select all the fields, select star from, then the table name. So the table name is employees. Okay. See, so we have entered these values, right? So these are stored in now what this table. So we have created one table inside this SQL database. The table name is employees. So this has 5 rows. So 5 existing rows it has. So what I want to do, so inside SQL database, I have some data, but I want to copy this data. I want to work on this data. So I want it into what Databricks. I want to import this data. I want to access this data from Databricks. So how can we do it? Directly, we cannot do it, right? So we need like in ADL from ADLS to extract the data, we have used this mount point concept. Okay, so here we will use this JDBC connection. Here we have, so I will provide this one. Otherwise, you can type in ChatGPT or Google, so you can get it. Otherwise, let me paste it in our this one, what chart also. Okay. Yeah. So here for establishing the connection between SQL database to this Databricks, you need host name, This port is not required. So this port for SQL database, this port is default 1433, and the database name. So the database name, whatever you created, the database name we have to provide, and username and password also we need to provide. So this one, the host name is nothing but the server name. So here the server name is this one, right? This one. This one, I think we don't require this one. Yeah. Server name, just replace with your credentials, and the database name is gopdb. Okay. This one, username also same, and password. Yeah. Okay. So we need username, password, and database name, and this SQL server name. Okay. We have given. Why? Start it. Oh, I think I kept like what is the this 50 minutes of inactivity. Okay. So it is inactive for 15 minutes. That's why it got terminated. Okay. Okay. Guys, why I have kept this one 15 minutes only? What happens if you keep this one has 30 minutes or 1 hour or 2 hour or 3 hour? What happens? Why we are keeping it as lesser time for this one?
Because you're using the general purpose, so it will keep on running for the 1 hour, 2 hour. So it is not job oriented cluster.
Correct.
It is
all-purpose cluster.
All-purpose cluster.
Interactive cluster. So if we keep on, if we don't terminate whenever it is inactive, if we don't terminate, what it is going to do? So even though no workload is running on this cluster, so we will be charged. That's why keep this one termination time as 15 or 30 minutes only. By default, it will be 120 minutes, 2 hours of time. But so why to waste money? So that's why keep 15 or 20 minutes, so that we can we cannot charge it much. Okay, so the good thing about this interactive all-purpose cluster is, so you can use it for any number of workloads. On the same, we can use this same cluster for running 10 pipelines, 10 jobs, 20 jobs, any number of jobs we can run on the same cluster. But it is not like job cluster. In job cluster, for each job, the cluster is different. So independent clusters, but it is interactive cluster we can use for multiple pipelines. That was the good thing. So what was the what it is the bad thing is, so whenever there is no pipeline running on this cluster then that time also if it is active, so we are going to be charged. But in job cluster, whenever the pipeline are job execution completed, then it will get terminated automatically. So the termination time for job cluster is 0 minutes. But the termination for this one all-purpose clusters are whatever you provide here that time. Yeah. Okay. So now we have established the connection. So we attach this cluster to our notebook. So now we can run our code. So this code, this part of the code enables the connection between SQL database to our Databricks. Okay. Can you please also share on drive? Chart not available after this. Okay. So what we can do? So I will, yeah, no problem. I will upload the notebook. Okay, so see guys, so it has established the connection. So now we have this table, right? So you can ask me, Gopi, we have this table. I want to read this table to Databricks. How can we read it? Okay, so here to read from Databricks, Azure SQL database. Yeah. So for CSV or JSON files or other files, what was the structure? Spark dot read dot JSON, right? Spark dot read dot format, and here CSV or JSON or Parquet or something, right? Here JDBC. And the option, so we have to provide this URL. So what is the JDBC URL? You can see here, the JDBC URL is nothing but a connection string. So it is enclosed inside the what double quotes, right? So it is a connection string. So it has JDBC host name, JDBC port, JDBC database, username, and password. So to this connection string, we will provide everything. Okay. So host name, JDBC port, JDBC data. So this JDBC URL has everything. Okay. So all the information about our SQL database, it has everything. So here, okay. So 1 minute, guys.
So Gopi, so like for every database, there will be a separate connection string, right? For every database within the server, a SQL server can have multiple databases.
Correct.
We have to
Correct.
have.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
For every database, we need to use different database name, because different databases have a different username and different passwords, right? So for each database, we need to create this connection. We need to run this same set of code every time for databases. But in general, in real time, we will not have these many databases, right? I mean, we can have only 5 to 6 only. So inside one database, we can have multiple tables. Okay, so we will have 5 to 6. The team will be owning those databases, and it is responsible for creating these connections. And we can it is very simple na? So whatever database you are want to connect, so you can use this set of code and give those credentials. Okay, so here we are exposing username and password, but in real time, so these will be created inside the Azure Key Vault. You are aware of Azure Key Vault, right? So inside Azure Key Vault, we can store our secrets, some passwords or other things we can store, but these username and password should not be exposed. Okay, because if you know, because now I am teaching, you all know what is the host name, database, and you can use the same set of credential. Then you can connect to my database also. Okay, so from Azure you are working, right? So you have to connect to this one. But is it possible, guys? If I provide all this, so you can connect to this, right? Any answer? I will be happy if you give correct answer. If I give host name, database name, username, and password, and you can connect to my database and you can extract my tables, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? I want to hear from you. Yes or no? Sidhu or someone, Vikas, Darshan, any answers? Why you are typing yes? Yes. Okay, so Vikas is saying yes. Yes or no? No, guys, how can you connect even though you have? But inside this one, we have networking, right? Inside SQL database server, we have network. So inside that one, we need to provide the IPs. So the system IPs we have to provide. Have you forgot? Okay, let me show you. You remember, right? Guys, in interview, they can ask you these kind of questions. So how can you enable this one, this SQL server connection? They will ask you. That time you must be in a position to answer. Here, this is database. Okay, here we have server, right? Inside server, here we have networking. So here we need to provide the server. Here no other persons are not allowed. This one is my system. This whatever the system on I am teaching, this system password. So if I want to give access to your machines, I need to give this IP address and everything. So the this name and IP addresses of your system. Then only you can extract my tables. You can access my tables. Okay, so it is not possible. So these are the tricky questions they will ask you. They are going to check your this one, so whether you are aware of this one or not. Okay, yeah. Okay, so
If the application is in the same VNet, then we don't need the only need the IP, right?
yeah, we need only the IP. Correct.
Okay. But if it's a different VNet, then that is not allowed actually.
Correct, correct,
Public access is not allowed.
correct. Yes. Spark.d. This one and JDBC URL, and here you can see JDBC URL we have provided and our table name. So what was our table name? Here we have the table, right? Okay, employees. Hmm, employees. Okay. See guys, so inside our data Azure SQL database, we have 5 rows. Okay, with employee ID, first name, last name, department, and salary. Okay, see here. So the same data we can extract here, right? We can connect to this SQL database, and we are able to fetch the data. So here you can see. So 5 rows we have inserted in Azure SQL database. Those 5 rows I can read from Databricks, and I can play on this one. So you can do some this one, what some transformation you can do. And I want to do, so I want to write it back to the this one, what so I want to do some transformation on this table, and I will write it back to the SQL database again. So let's see how can I do it. Okay, df1 equal to some transformation, what I can do. Mm, Okay, so here we have salary field, right? So this salary field, think like this one, we have 10% of hike. So we can play on this salary field, right? Okay, so df equal to df1 equal to df dot with column function I can use. Okay, with column, and I want to use the same, this one, salary. Yeah. See, the good thing with this one is, so no need to type anything. So whatever it is, like six Sense movie, guys. So I am thinking of multiplying with 1.1, right? 10% salary. So it has given everything, the intelligence. The good thing with Databricks is, so it will have that lineage history, right? It will remember. It will remember whatever, if you have performed these operations before. So we have performed many times, right? The salary column we have multiplied with 10% hike, 1.1 many times. That's why it remembered and it allowed. So whenever I kept salary column, so it has given df salary multiplied by 1 point. df1 dot show. Okay, so 66,000, this one 82,500, 90,000, some 73. So I want to write it back to the our table. Okay, so you can ask me, Gopi, how can we write back to this table? Same here. So we use df dot write dot format CSV, format JSON, format Parquet. So here we are using JDBC. And inside that option, we need to give this JDBC URL, the connection string, and which table you want to write it back to. So the table name and the driver, so that this driver, and the mode, so savings modes, append, overwrite, some modes are there. So I want to write it back to the same table, employees only. Okay, so the mode is override. Yeah, let me write back to the table again. See, now, so the salary should be for John, salary earlier. This, what is the salary? 60,000. Now it should be 66,000. Let's run the query again. So it is showing 60,000, right? Let me run the query again. Tables. Mm, select, select star from employees. Hmm, Why it should have, right? Employees, JDBC URL, mode override. Oh, sorry. DF1, right? But in DF also we have some data. Okay. It should not take this much time. Okay. What is happening with this? Okay. Employees one. Okay. Let me see. Select start from employees one. Why? Why it is not able to write df1 df1 dot show? Whoa, inside df1 we don't have anything. See here, why we don't have anything? Mhm. Okay, okay, okay. df1 dot show. We have some data. Let me write it back to this one. Okay. See guys. So I have written some data, right? So we have transformed this data. So the original data have 60,000, right? So we have multiplied this one with 10%, 10% hike. So now see, we have 66,000, 82,000. Okay. So this way, what you can do using this JDBC connection, so you can access to, you can connect to SQL database and you can read from SQL database and you can write it back to the SQL database after modifying this one. Okay. And you can create some dummy table. So if you want to write some data, so inside ADLS, you have some data. So in real time, what happens, right? So from ADLS, we need to ingest the data and then we have to clean the data and we have to transform the data. And once we have the required data, we need what we need to do. So we have to create one table with some fields. So that from that data frame, what you can do, you can write back to this table. Okay. So you can write back to this table using this syntax. Okay. Any doubts, guys, on this one? How to connect to SQL database? How can we read from SQL database? And how can we write back to the SQL database? Any doubts? If you don't have any question, then we can move to the next topic. Guys, you're okay with this, right? Because this connection to SQL database, connection to this ADLS, it is very important because daily we will work with Azure accounts only, storage accounts and SQL database only. So you must know how to connect to these services because those two are other services, right? So yeah. Now let me uh, discuss something about data lake and delta lake. So what is the difference between this data lake and delta lake? Can anyone give me example of this data lake? Any storage account. So data lake is nothing but one storage account. So can you give me one example of this data lake? One or two, one or two services examples. I mean, service names I want. Data lake. In Azure. Guys, ADLS. What is the full form of ADLS?
Azure
ADLS. Azure.
uh,
Azure.
data lake
AD.
storage.
Azure.
Azure data lake storage.
Correct. So Azure data lake storage. So our ADLS is one of the example of this data lake. Okay.
And blob storage.
Yes, blob storage, Azure ADLS Gen 1, ADLS Gen 2. So these all are examples of data lake. Okay. Yeah. So this data lake is nothing but it is like a big what has to a huge storage pool. Okay. So this one. So think of data lakes as a huge storage pool. Okay, so huge storage pool means you can write, you can store whatever data, how much data you have, that much you can store. So it has, I think, terabytes. It has a capacity of storing terabytes of data, 100 GB, 1000 GB, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, like that. So it can store 10 terabyte. It depends on the type of this one and the capacity of this one. Okay, so we can store how much data we can have, that much data we can store. Okay, so it is a huge storage pool. It has capacity of terabytes. Okay, some tens of terabytes it can store. Okay, and so this one, whenever in interview you will come across this question, guys, what is the difference between data lake and delta lake? So this is the general questions every interview here is going to ask you. So when you will use data lake, when you will use delta lake, what is the good thing about this data lake, using of data lake? So why we use this delta lake? So compare them, so they can ask you. Then that time you should be in a position to explain everything of it and take 5 to 10 minutes and drive the interviewer. So drive the interview such that he asks about this data lake and delta lake only. Okay, in interview everyone will ask, every interviewer for them. So it is must. So okay, you should have sound knowledge of this data lake and delta lake. So this data lake, it stores raw data. Okay, guys. So it stores raw data of all types, guys. So it is the difference between data lake and delta lake. All data type means Gopi. What are the all data types means? Files like CSV, JSON, okay, Parquet, images, logs, videos, okay, and tables, everything. So this tables is nothing but structured data. This CSV, JSON, Parquet, some semi-structured, semi-structured. Images, logs, and videos, it doesn't have any structure, right? So it is capable of storing any data type, guys. So it can store huge data, and it allows any structure and any type. Okay, so that is the good thing about this data lake storage, guys. Okay, it's how can we say, it's like dumping everything into a folder. Okay, okay, let me. So it is like dumping everything into a folder without worrying about its structure. Okay, so these are the 2 points, guys. Whenever they ask him, just tell them. So it stores raw data of all types. It allows structured, semi-structured, unstructured data. And like, so it won't worry about the structure. So this data lake won't worry about the structure. Okay, some examples of this one are, some examples of these data lakes are ADLS and our blob S3 buckets in AWS. Okay, so these are some of the examples of this data lake. Okay, so what are the advantages of this? Okay, so the good thing about this data lake storage is it can store massive amounts of data. Also, it supports any kind of data, structured, semi-structured, and unstructured also. What are the negatives about this one? Cons. Okay, no built-in way to track changes and handle updates or deletes or ensure data quality. What is this mean? What does it mean? So no built-in way to track changes, handle updates or deletes, or ensure data quality means. So we have seen delta tables, right? So we have seen delta tables, external or internal. That time you have seen. So here, let me show you. This catalog or this external delta tables. These are delta lakes, guys. So these are the examples of delta lake. Let me show you one example. So while creating delta tables, I showed you. So they will have everything. So the details. So when it got run. So who updated it, the username, the notebook, and the versioning. The versioning also at what time it has run. Okay. So who modified it, the DDL, the script also. It will create the script also. So it has everything. So who deleted it, who updated it, who created it, and when it ran last time, everything we can see in delta tables. Maybe it is taking some time. So okay, so I think you are aware of it. While we are discussing that delta tables, I have shown you everything. Okay, let it take some time. So okay, here we have, right. Yeah, you can see these details. Let me click on this. This is delta lake, guys. So we were discussing about data lake. So data lake means this one ADLS. Okay, so it supports all types and it supports massive data storage. It is a massive data storage and it supports all types. So the one negative thing about this one is it we cannot track all changes. Here you can see. So sample data you can see, and the history. Inside this history you can see the versioning, the timestamp, the user ID, a username, who modified it, what type of the operation. Here you can see May 14th. So today 19th, right? You can see at May 14th, someone ran at 10:14. So at that time they ran. And the user ID of this one. And here the username, who ran it. Okay. And the operation. So what type of operation they performed? Create. So they have performed this create table operation. And the operation parameters you can see. Okay, and so everything you can see here. Okay, the versioning, the Databricks runtime. Okay, everything we can see in delta table. That changes everything we can see physically. But in data lake storage you cannot see it. I can go to this. Let me show you one example. Okay, we have this, right? ADLS I can show you. This is one ADLS, right? So it is storage container. Here you can see we can delete it. So anywhere can we say who deleted this one, who created this one? Can we see anywhere? Here, so we cannot see. We have created this dbx project. Who has created this final project? We cannot see. So inside this one, if I am going to delete this one now, so nobody knows. If I delete this one, so nobody knows who has deleted this one. Okay, that was the problem with this ADLS. So that what he is saying. So no built-in way to track changes. Okay, so and there is no we cannot handle updates or deletes or ensure data quality. So this one, guys, because data quality means it allows any structure. Okay, so the data quality, so it can process duplicates. Okay, it can process null values, and it can process special characters. It can process dummy data. Okay, so that was the problem with this ADLS, guys, because we are not worrying about anything. So just if you get anything, if you get malware also, if you get malware affected files also, it will go into dump. So that is the problem with this one, guys. Malware is nothing but data, corrupted data files. Okay, so that is the data lake, guys. So these are the good things, and this was the one negative thing. Okay, Mm, yes. Now, Delta Lake. Okay, so Delta Lake is built. So you can ask me what is the difference by Gopi. So this Delta Lake also built top on this data lake only. So earlier we have data lake, right? So on top of this one only they have built this Delta Lake. Okay, so Delta Lake is built on top of a data lake. Okay, so on top of this data lake only they have built this Delta Lake. Okay, but it adds features like, okay, so we yesterday we have discussed ACID transactions. So asset transactions means, so yesterday we have discussed about 20-30 minutes we have spent on this asset transactions. Okay, so save updates or deletes. So we have seen, so see this ACID transactions, how it handles. Okay, also versioning is there. We have seen, right, just now we have seen version 0, version 1, version 2. So if any data corrupted today, so we can go to back to previous, we can go extract the historical data also. Okay, I mean versioning is nothing but time travel. It is possible, we can go back to this historical date and we can extract that data also. And schema enforcement is there. Okay, schema enforcement is means, so if you create some fields, employee ID integer, so it is always integer only. If you are going to write some long or some string value as integer, it will throw you error. The error is like that. So a schema mismatch, you have created this one with integer, but now you are trying to push string values into it, so it won't allow. So always the schema is same, always the data type is same, but it is not the case with this data lake. Okay, and schema enforcement is there. Upserts, it allows upserts. Upserts means merge in SQL, like merge. So upsert means update or inserts. Okay, so it won't allow what duplicates. If you have upsert means, so if any on the existing row, if any changes are there, it is going to update it. If any new row is coming, it is going to insert it. That is the upsert. So in SQL we can say merge. So we can perform these upserts in what Delta Lake, on top of Delta Lake, but it is not possible with Data Lake. Okay, what we can say about this Delta Lake? So it is like think of it like turning your messy folder into a well-managed smart storage, you can say. Okay, so we have medallion architecture, right? So in medallion architecture, we have bronze layer, silver layer, and gold layer. So we will use this data lake for bronze layer because we are going to dump everything into it. Okay, so that data lake will be serving our what as bronze layer storage account. This delta lake we can use for both silver layer and what this one gold layer. So means it has clean data and it has curated data, aggregated data it will have. So it won't it has some versioning also. Whenever we have so today if the pipeline didn't run, or some of due to some query changes, some data loss is happened, then what we can do, we can do this versioning and it only performs asset transactions. Okay, so safe updates, so what is asset atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So schema enforcements, always the schema will be same. Okay, and it won't allows duplicates because it gives feature like upserts, so we can do this upserts. So we can include in our code, we can include these upserts and we can remove the what duplicate rows. Okay, so it is well managed smart storage, guys, this is Delta Lake. Okay, so it is useful for what? So because we are using this one for a gold layer, right? So gold layer is nothing but which is accessible by our leadership, our data analytics team, our leadership. So it is good for the good, what are the positives of this? What reliable for analytics. Analytics means they will create some dashboards, reports they are going to create, right? So for them, they will use this Delta Lake only, not the data lake. Delta Lake they will use. And yeah, it supports because Delta Lake storage is nothing but this one, right? Parquet format where everything is like table structure only. So it supports SQL like operations. You can perform queries, SQL queries on these tables, okay, and updates, deletes we can perform, okay. It is great for real-time batch processing, guys. So it is great for both real time and batch processing. And the negatives about this one is what we can say. Yeah, so this structure, so storage account is nothing but here we are seeing, right? The storage account is nothing but our C drive, D drive. So how we will upload files, how we can delete files. So everything it is like a storage container. But this Delta tables, it is not like just like these containers, like right? So we cannot delete, we cannot update, we cannot upload easily. So that much easily. If you want to create some folder or if you want to upload folder file, just you go for a C drive or D drive, how we will do it, we can do like in ADLS. But table, it is not like that. We have to write some queries to create table and to dump some data. So it is not like ADLS. We have to give the schema, we have to enforce this one, and we have to use this JDBC connection and everything we have to do for this Delta tables, okay. So it is slightly complex, guys. So slightly what it was slightly more complex setup compared to a plain data lake. Yeah, so the data lake, it is like a messy room when everything is stored randomly. Okay, so the Delta Lake, the same room but with some labels and tracking system. So yeah, mm, I think this is sufficient. So if interviewer asks what is the difference between this one and Delta Lake and Delta Lake, you should be in a position to answer him. They will not directly ask you what is Data Lake and Delta Lake is. They will ask you, so which storage account or which storage this one, which service you are going to use for your bronze layer in your project, which one you are using for your bronze layer storage, they will ask you. So you should be in a position to answer like we are using some data lake storage as like ADLS, S3 buckets we are using. So you can tell everything of this. So this is the good thing about this using it as a bronze layer, and you can tell everything. And they may ask you, okay, for silver layer and gold layer, which one you are using. Then you should be in a position to answer like, so we are creating delta tables or we are using SQL database for our silver layer and gold layer containers. So these are the what positives about this one. These provides our what these delta label tables are SQL databases. They add features like these, so you can tell them. So he will be what impressed. So this one in interviews asking these questions, I mean probability is very high.
Gopi, I have a question. So when I'm storing the data in the Delta Lake, in the external data lake, so is the data stored in a single file or in a multi files, right?
Where data lakes to ADLS?
No, Delta Lake.
Multiple files?
I mean, when I'm storing the data in a external, not local to the data.
External
So
delta tables.
suppose it has like 20 lakhs data in one table. Are they stored in one file or multiple files? They are
Yes,
stored
it depends on the worker nodes and it depends on the storage space you are providing. Because so it will be parallel processing, right? Our Apache Spark, it is a distributed parallel processing. So it is going to create multiple multiple Parquet files.
Okay, so it depends upon the number of worker nodes I have specifying.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm specifying 5 means it will be 5 files will be created in the ADSL by the Delta Lake. That means in the ADSL Gen 2.
Correct.
5 files. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I'm aggregating, then what will I do? Then suppose if I'm aggregating data.
No need to because even though they are stored in one different files, so we will be we will not accessing those files, right? We will access the container only. Inside that container, we are going to have the subparts, right? So we are going to access that one only. The Databricks itself, what it knows. So inside that it will generate logs files also, right? So inside that logs file, it has the information, which one is first, which one is next. So you don't worry about what file has which data. So whenever we are you are going to read that one, just give the folder location so that you can access all the 1 lakh. I mean, whatever maybe the count 10 lakh or 1 lakh, you can access all the rows.
But can I use the partition key to partition the data?
We have discussed, right? You can use partition. So I think we have discussed using department. So it has created folders with HR people, only HR people in one folder, only IT people in one folder. So it is like optimizing the code. Yeah, for optimization, we can use this partition, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is an also a positive, right?
Yes. And next, we have some time, right? We can discuss. Let me think what we can discuss. Yeah, Unity catalog we can discuss. Okay. Guys, so I think we will in 2 to 3 weeks we are going we will be winding up this one our course. Okay, you can start your preparation. So I think I have uploaded Databricks related files, right? Documents, right? Interview questions and all in our group, in our channel. Yes or no?
No, sir, no.
No. Okay, for April batch, maybe other batch we have na. In that for that batch I have uploaded. Okay, so I will what I am going to do. I will be uploading both ADF and ADB. So interview questions, most recent questions and most asked questions in very important questions. I'm going to provide you so you can go through them, and so if you practice those questions now, then you can understand more. So okay, so these questions they will answer, they will ask. So I have to practice them. So I have to practice some transformation. So you will know Spark architecture. From Spark architecture, they can ask these questions. You will have some idea. So maybe tonight or tomorrow, I will upload all the documents. Okay, so you can it may be useful for your interview.
With answer or not?
with answers. Yeah, not only the questions plus answers, guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gopi sir, won't you be covering the Synapse Analytics also?
Synapse also we will cover. Yeah.
Okay.
We can have 8 to 10 hours on that one. No worries. Yeah.
Okay.
Gopi sir, and streaming, how to process streaming data?
Yeah.
Real time data.
Real time.
Yeah, we will discuss. We will discuss. Don't worry.
Event hub.
Event hub is creating event hub and all. It is we can see how to process real time data. We can discuss, but event hub and event logs, that is kind of some complex, guys.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll
but
see.
Can you please upload the question and answers for Event Hub and Event Logs? Additionally, is it possible?
Okay. I will.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. Yeah. So before Unity catalog, this Unity catalog. Okay. So let me tell you. So before Unity catalog, after Unity catalog, what are the benefits of having this Unity catalog? I will tell you. So before Unity catalog, before UC, Databricks customers face many problems, guys. Okay, so what are those problems? Let me give here. Data governance was very hard. Okay, data governance was very hard. So what does mean by this data governance? Means access control. So access control means who can data governance, right? So I can see. So if your child is studying in one school, so other school, now this is the time for admissions, right? So what everyone will be doing, so you may getting calls from other schools, but nowhere you have provided your data to other schools, but they have all the information of your. So they will say they will tell your kid name, where he is studying, and everything they will say, and they will tell you, so that we have these many facilities compared to that school. So everything they are going to. So how they are going to do? So inside that only employees will leak that information. Okay. So here also in Databricks also, what was the problem? So access control. So access control had to be done at the storage level. Okay. Now, so who can read or write which data? Okay, so that is not there in our Databricks. So in ADLS or S3 bucket, you can see. So there is nothing like so access control on folder level or this one, right? Only storage level we can see have this control. So if you provide, I mean here, if he is able to access, if he is able to access, we can give the here I guess where IAM we have access control. Here we can you can see. So here you can give the he can access role assignments you can give. So roles are role assignment. Here you can give the user. So whether he is only the reader or viewer or creator. So some roles you can give. Okay. Yeah, here you can see Gopi. I am the contributor. He is Srishanka has created this, right? So he is the owner. So he is the owner. He can do anything. I am the contributor. He has given some permission to me. Okay. So maybe we can in our organization they can add your username and they will give you only read data or write data. So they won't give you delete data or update this one. So it is up to what only storage account level only. Here, do we have any role assignments? No. So if you have this access, read access or delete access at this one storage account level, you can delete this folder without any permission. And there is nothing like username. This one Gopi has deleted this folder. Nowhere it is saving. Okay. And here also, I can upload any data. I can upload malware affected folders so that our this one will be affected. So the access control had to be done at the storage level. Okay. Like using storage level permission only. Okay. So this was very hard, guys. So we have storage account level permission only. We don't have folder level. So if you have folder, if there is nothing like folder level access, and inside folder we have file access, right? So file level access also not possible. So anyone can delete files. Anyone can delete this one folders. If he has storage account level access, and no fine grained control. I mean, so no easy way to restrict access to a few columns or rows inside a table. Okay, here you can create inside this one, you can create some tables. So there is nothing like, okay, this user so can access, so they will give something, guys. So use this column level also. So column level also, if you have UC enabled means at column level also, this user can have access only on these columns. So maybe you can have employee ID, employee name, and employee salary or some other. So maybe they don't want to give access to this employee ID and use name. They don't want to expose this employee ID and name. So what they can do, they can control this column also. Column level control also enabled in UC, and row level also. Row level and column level also. Who can see, who can edit, who can delete. That access also is there in that control also is there in Unity catalog. But in what before Unity catalog we don't have. Understood, right? The fine grained control means column level, row level access also. So we can edit this one, we can read this one, we can only read this column, we cannot edit. You can delete this column, or you can write this column like this. So we can give role assignments to column level and row level also, and file level and folder level also. When if we have this one, Unity catalog is enabled. So before Unity Catalog, this was the problem. Data governance was very hard. So no need this access control, who deleted it, who written it. So no, we are not able to find. Okay. Yeah. And one more thing, multiple workspaces. We will be having multiple workspaces, right? Multiple workspaces means multiple problems. Okay, what is multiple workspaces and multiple problems? So in our real time, we are not having only one Databricks workspaces. We are going to have 3 to 4, maybe 5. So in our organization, we have 5 workspaces: one for development, other for testing, and unit UAT environment, pre-prod, and then prod. We have 5 workspaces, guys. So 5 workspaces means, so we have many problems, these many problems, because for 5 workspaces, we should have 5 data stores. We should have what? And in every workspace, we need to give access. So every day in our team, so some member will come. I lost access on pre-prod. Please grant me access for pre-prod. They will ask you. So I lost access on UAT, and I am able to log in, but I am not able to update or delete files. They will come up. So if you have multiple workspaces, means multiple problems. So in each and every environment, so they have to give. So he has access to the senior level. Gopi is senior level, he can have access up to prod. So they have to go to that admin settings in each and every environment. 5 environments, they have to provide me access in 5 environments. Okay, but if you have Unity Catalog, so it is centralized, guys. So from one place only, you can give access to. Gopi can have access to dev, test, UAT, pre-prod, and prod. So at one time, they can give access to me access of 5 environments at one time. But in before Unity Catalog, so they have to log into each workspace, and they have to give access to in each workspace. They have to give access. But whenever you have Unity Catalog, it is centralized access, so they can give me access at one click. So okay, Rudresh is a junior level, so he can have access up to what? Dev, test, and UAT only. He should not have on prod systems. So they can do. Sidhu is a senior manager. He can has access of all the workspaces, and delete option also he can have. Darshan is a junior guy, so he can have access to these storage containers only. So like that we can give. But we have 5 storage accounts. For 5 storage accounts, we have to do that control. Okay, and so multiple workspaces, multiple problems. Whenever we have this one Unity Catalog, you are going to have 100 workspaces also. You can manage from centralized this Unity Catalog. So you can give access to them. So okay, I can give access to them, these only. I don't want to give access to these workspaces. You can give. So that is the good thing is with Unity Catalog. Before that one, we don't have this, right? So data governance was very hard, multiple workspaces, so multiple problems. Okay, yeah. So if a company had multiple Databricks workspaces, each workspace had its own set of tables, users, and permissions. So each environment, for each workspace, you have to give what this one, what control on tables, users, and permission, and no central ways to manage users, data, and permissions. Okay. So before you see, so no central way to manage all users, data, and permission. And auditing and lineage was missing, guys. Before you see, this auditing and lineage was missing. I mean, no easy way to track who accessed or who changed data. So that was missing without UC. And no built-in data lineage means how data moves and transforms. Lineage, you know, right? Historical recording of this one. So how data moves and transform. We have seen lazy evaluation in PySpark. So that was missing. Okay, before. Mm, yeah. And data discovery was difficult. Data discovery was difficult means finding available data sets was manual and messy. So no easy centralized catalog to search. So this one, guys, so I have written one code in development. Okay, so I have created one delta table or some SQL database I have to upload. So if I want to upload to SQL database, first I need to create this table, right? So we have seen today in today's class, we have seen first we need to create that table here. Okay, so where in SQL database. So we have to create that table. So what you did, what you did. So in development workspace, it is working fine. You moved that code to test. So in test also, what you have to do, you have to create the same SQL database, and UAT, you have to create the same SQL database. And if you forget to create now, so just what you thought, so I will test it in TST and pre-prod and prod I will check. I will you missed, maybe you are sick or something. So on UAT you missed it. So it moved to pre-prod. Pre-prod you created those tables and it is working fine. Prod also it is working fine. Someone came and they are checking, they are running your notebook in UAT. You haven't created the table inside the SQL database. What it is saying, table is missing. So that was the problem, guys. So in each and every environment, we need to create those tables externally. But if you have central this Unity catalog, you can create the table in all workspaces at once. Okay, so the DDL you will run at once. You can check UATR pre-prod or prod. You can check. You can create all the tables in same table in all the environments at one click. Understood? The data discovery was difficult means. So finding available data sets was manual and messy. So there, manual, right? It was manual. Manually, we have to create in all environments. If I forget to create in one environment, it will throw me error. Notebook will run not. But the good thing with UC is we can create the same table at one click. Yeah. Understood? These are the problems, guys, before this one. Inconsistent across, yeah. What we can say, inconsistent access control across workspaces. Okay. 1 minute, guys. Yeah, let me write the problems, then you can remember. Inconsistent access control across workspaces. That means multiple workspaces, multiple problems we have discussed, right? So someone will have read access in one environment. So admin forgot to give that access on this one. So in our team also, I lost pre-prod access, I lost this access, I don't have this access, like this. So inconsistent access control across workspace. These are the problems without UC. Okay, complicated data sharing between workspaces or external parties. High sec high security risk because of storage level access policies. Yeah. So we don't know. So who is accessing, who is creating, who is deleting. Okay. So high secure, someone laid off today. So he has to okay. Someone they fired. Okay. Let's think like, so in our project they fired me. So they told like it is the last day for you. In this layoff, you will be fired. So what I will do with, I got angry. I did so much for our this project. Now they are what they are removing me. So I can go to prod system. I can delete files. I can disturb anything. So there is, without UC, what is the problem? High security risk. Because so without UC they don't know who deleted it, who changed it, and who created this one, who disturbed this one. They don't know, right? So that is the problem. High security risk because of storage level access policies, guys. So in now, so every organization is enabling this Unity catalog. Don't think that, so if I delete this one, they don't know. No. So now everyone installed, implemented this Unity catalog. So now they will know. So who changed, who accessed this one. The active logs will be created every time. So don't do that one. So don't touch production systems, guys. And hard to manage schema evolution across teams, means different yeah, this one we already discussed. This one, what editing and lineage was missing. Rather, no, this data discovery was difficult, and no centralized metadata management. I told na. So what happens? No centralized metadata management means, so in test environment, you're developing your code and testing in test environment. So in employee ID is integer in test environment. Okay. So in it is manual, right? Someone created the data. In UAT, it is like string. In pre-prod and prod, it is integer. Test it is integer employee ID. The column field, the column name employee ID, it is integer in test environment. In pre-prod and prod, it is integer. But in UAT, some data. So while creating the dummy data, the DBA guy or some guy, what he did, he created employee ID as string. I mean, he also added some alphanumerical. So what happens now? The this one, the employee ID, it is in integer. So we moved that same code, writing in it is integer, and we moved it to pre UAT. What happens now? So it will be failed data mismatch, column data type mismatch, because it is integer here, there's string. So what happens now? So we have to change in UAT also. We have to create dummy data again. Okay, so we have to run the code again. So everything will be messy. So because of no centralized metadata management. If you have UC, what happens whenever you create some table, some data, so it will be same across all environments, right? So the table data types, everything will be same across all environment, so that the developer, so the DBA guy will know, okay, here he already created this one. We have to provide this type of data. He will be aware of. Okay, before you see, it is the problem. So some fields in other environments have some data type. In other environments, it has some data type. So data is inconsistent across environment. That problem was there before UC. And no column or row level security. We can, with UC, we can have column or row level security also, guys. And auditing and governance reporting, almost impossible. Yeah. So these are the problem without UC. So what is Unity catalog now? So what is UC exactly? So it is a centralized metadata system for all Databricks workspaces in an account, in one account, guys. So it is a centralized metadata system for all Databricks workspaces in an account. Okay, from here only, from it is a centralized metadata system, right? We can manage everything for all Databricks workspaces. We can manage from one centralized system. Nothing, not like before. You see, each workspace is different, and for each workspace we have to provide everything 5 times. So here we need five, I mean we need to do the same work 5 times here. So when you have UC, so just one time we have to do. Okay, because it is a centralized system. And a fine grained control, access control mechanism on data. Okay, so whatever the, here we have listed some negatives, right? So they will be here for UC, they have enabled. Okay, I mean, so a fine, here we are missing fine grained control, right? Here we have fine grained access control mechanism on data, like table, view, column, row. So the, table level access, table, row level access, column level access, everything we can have. Hi Gopi, can you please also share the writing also in the drive? Sure, sure. I will share it. No worries. So a fine-grained access control mechanism on data means we can have table level. So Gopi can have access to this table, and Sidhu can have access to this table. Shinni can have access to these tables only. So table level access, view level access, column level access, row level access. So we can have these. Okay, so here the control is at very minimal level also. I mean row level also we can have, and a data governance layer across your data lakes. Okay, so a data governance layer across your data lakes. Data lakes means ADLS, S3, Google Cloud system, Google what storage system. So this one. So a data governance layer across your data lakes means folder level access, file level access, and column level access inside ADLS also enabled. Okay. Mm, yeah. Mm, I think this is sufficient. So what were the key features of this UC? Fine-grained access control, centralized governance, data lineage and auditing. Okay, yeah, data lineage and auditing was missing there. So here it is the data lineage and auditing. So what is this data lineage means? Track data flow from ingestion to consumption. So from the time the data is ingested to consumption, so how it moved, that is data lineage. So it is missing. And auditing means all access and changes are logged and auditable. So all accesses means, so who has access and who has changes permission, everything will be auditing here. Yeah. I think this is sufficient, guys. So if you are able to remember these points now, so these are the drawbacks without UC, and these are the benefits after adding this UC. So in interviews, they may ask you, okay, yeah, I think this is sufficient for today.